Welcome back. It's Saturday, January 21st in the NBA. My two favorite picks are on the way. Let's recap yesterday, though. It was a 1-2 day. Julius Randle gets it done. He cashes in the third quarter. But Bam Adebayo and Jaren Jackson Jr. do not get it done. Now, day 7 of the ladder challenge did hit. And it was sweaty. And Bam and JJJ were part of that, and they barely got their legs down. But let's talk about that in a second. If you are new, welcome aboard. My name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. Thank you guys so much for 80,000 subscribers. All the love and support has been ridiculous. We're closing in 100K. Let's go try to hit that. If we hit this ladder challenge, I don't know. We might hit that soon. But I do want to talk about the ladder challenge. If you're completely out of the loop, you're like, what the heck is that, Austin? I have no idea. I've been watching your channel for a long time. I'd be surprised if that was the case. But we started with $10 7 days ago. We were going to bet on a plus 100 or so bet. And if we cashed, we'd have $20. We'd do that again, bet $20 the next day. And if that cashed, we'd have $40. And we kept doing it over and over and over again. Such that we've hit 7 in a row. We're at over $1,200. I'll put the ticket from last night up on the screen. It's been a ridiculous run, hence why the community has absolutely exploded. But I do want to kind of put a note of advice and kind of guidance out there. If you need the $1,200, or if maybe you've been tailing for 5 or 6 days and you're at 600 or something, you take the money. There's no reason to continuously, do this time and time again. Obviously, this is my job, and it's fun, and it's a lot of fun to interact with all of you guys out there. But if you need the money, if that's life-changing for you, take the money. There's no reason. If you're betting way above your means, please don't put $1,200 on it. You got to come to the reality that if it doesn't hit, now you're down that money. And technically, we did start with $10, but $1,200 is a real amount of money. It can help a lot of people lives. So I want to put that out there. I'm still going to keep rolling with it, but it doesn't mean you have to do it. If you want to back out, if you want to maybe take some of the winnings and just start at a lower number and kind of just continue it just to ride with the community, go for it. I'm not going to judge you. The community's not going to judge you. So I don't want to get on a soapbox there, but I'm just going to say you can cash out. I don't blame you if you want to at all. It's hard to click that place bet button when you're betting over $1,200. But now, due to an enormous amount of questions, I know this is a longer intro than normal. People keep asking, Austin, can I tip you? And all this stuff. And I don't really ask for tips. I don't really want the tips, if I'm being honest. I much prefer doing it. Why I do this is I like to interact with all you guys. Some people always are asking if they'll pay for more picks than premium picks. I'm never going premium. I have no desire to do premium picks, make you guys pay for them. That's not what I'm here for. I like to interact with you guys, build the community, and it's a lot more fun that way. And so if people keep asking for tips, I don't expect anyone to tip me at all. I don't need any of the tips, but if you do, I do appreciate it if you send me tips, but this is mainly to save me a ton of DMs and to save me a lot of people that keep asking about how to tip me. Now, one, you can become an all-star. I obviously talked about that a couple times. You can hit the join button down below. And I put the PayPal, I put the Venmo, and the Cash Apps all up on the screen. Venmo and Cash App, both at Calling Our Shot. And then PayPal's Austin at callingourshot.com is the email. Look, I don't expect tips. I don't really need them. But if you do send them, I'd appreciate it. I'm going to reinvest all the money that anyone sends into the channel, whether it's giveaway parlays, improving the camera, improving the mic, improving the computer, all those different things. So, like I said, this is more so to save me some time putting this up on the screen than it is to really expect you guys to send me money. You guys are betting your hard-earned money. But without further ado, let's dive into our favorite picks. NFL Saturday. There's a video for that. You can go check that out. I have 2 picks in the NFL, and then we'll have one for Sunday later on tonight. Let's talk about my favorite plays, and we'll get on out of here and talk about some All-Stars, which is a long list. Marcus Smart. I like his over 23.5 PRAs, minus 105 on DraftKings. You can play this at 24.5. Now, cue the I'm not betting on Smart today comments, because I understand. Smart burned us a couple days ago, and it was brutal. But let's talk about Smart, and I love what he's got today. Now, yes, he stole our money on Monday versus Charlotte. But he dealt with foul trouble in that game. And Smart didn't attempt a single field goal attempt in the second half. I think he got 2 free throws. He didn't attempt a single shot. And he finished with 20 PRAs. So he finished 4 short of what we needed. And could you blame him for not shooting? Jason Tatum was out there scoring 51 points today. And look, I don't blame Smart. Tatum couldn't miss. He was just passing to him. Tatum can shoot over 5 people. He was still making it. But unfortunately today, Jason Tatum, I'm taking his under. Why? Because he's not even playing. He's out with a wrist injury, and they're playing the Raptors in Toronto. So a lot of usage rate is going to open up. 32.9% for Mr. Tatum. We know he has the ball in his hands a lot. He grabs a lot of rebounds as well. I think he had almost 20 rebounds last game. And he has the ball in his hands a lot. He's going to shoot a lot. That's only going to open up a lot of opportunities for others, like a guy like Marcus Smart. And while guys like Brogdon, guys like Jaylen Brown, and guys like Derek White are going to absorb some of that usage, so will Marcus Smart. And I think this line's still a little bit too low. Jaylen Brown, still going to have to deal with OG Anunoby, a very good defender, and as their number 1 option. We've seen the Raptors take away that number 1 option time and time again this year. And we look at Smart. He's played without Jason Tatum a couple times this year, and he's had 29 and 25 PRAs in those 2 games. So he's played pretty well without him. And look at him. He's played pretty well against the Toronto Raptors in the past. In his last 3 games versus Toronto, 35, 42, and 28 PRAs. So he's played pretty well. The Raptors have actually struggled versus opposing point guards recently, giving up the 3rd most points per game to point guards over the last 7. And look, Jaylen Brown's not a point guard, so OG Anunoby, Yeah, so OG Anunoby's not going to be the guy that's going to be he'll be guarding Jaylen Brown. So we're going to see Marcus Smart probably get guarded by Fred VanVleet, maybe by Gary Trent Jr. And I think he's going to probably Fred VanVleet for what I guess. And Fred's a decent defender, but he's not like he's clamping him up and holding him to 0 points. We know Marcus Smart should come out here. It should be a close game. Should be an over/under at 228. So enough points to go around. And Smart's going to be on the court with the Al Horfords, the Grant and Rob Williams, and those guys don't really facilitate a lot. Trying to take people off the dribble. They're going to need Marcus Smart out there to play make. And I think this line's too low. He could go out there and score 25 points today alone, but he could also chip in, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rebounds. He could also get 6 to 8 assists, maybe even more. And Smart should be able to go out there and shoot and get 23.5 PRAs. If he does it, then we'll see you after the All-Star break, buddy. But I think he's well capable of getting it done without Jason Tatum. A lot of usage open up. So Marcus Smart, I like his over 23.5 PRAs. Now, my second play, I'm going to be honest, this NBA slate is brutal. And I probably won't involve any of the NBA games in the ladder challenge. We'll probably go to the NFL. We'll talk about that in a second. So my second play, honestly couldn't find a ton I liked. So I'm going to go to a Joel Embiid same game parlay. It's the Joel special. And look, we're trusting the process tonight because this is 3 legs, all with Joel Embiid. It's 30 plus points for Embiid, 8 plus rebounds, and 2 plus assists. It's a little juice, minus 123 on FanDuel. And I don't really love taking these 3 leg kind of things. They feel kind of negative expected value, not positive EV, but I think this cashes, and this is not the ladder challenge for the people like, there's a ladder. No, it's not the ladder challenge. We're going to make that plus 100 or at least something like that. And we got to talk about this a little bit and why we like it. Now, James Harden, questionable currently, injury management. There's like an ankle foot sprain kind of thing in there. I don't expect James Harden to play today. If he plays, I'll be very surprised this season when they put him as questionable with like a injury management thing. He hasn't played, and so far this season, Embiid's played pretty well without James Harden. In 10 games this year without Harden, Embiid 8 plus rebounds in 9 of 10 and 2 plus assists in all 10 games. So if Embiid can get me the 8 and 10, I can live with him not getting 30 points because 30 points is like minus 290. I mean, his regular line is like 34.5. Embiid's cashed the same game parlay in 7 of the 10 games without Harden this year. And look, the 3 misses, 2 of them he played 29 and 28 minutes. So he didn't play his normal minutes. It was blowouts. And then the 3 teams, it was against the Hawks, Cavs, and Thunder. The Hawks and Cavs pretty decent at defending opposing centers. The Thunder just triple teamed Joel Embiid. And while the Kings could triple team Joel Embiid, I don't think they do that. And even if they do, Joel Embiid's still capable of getting his own. And the Kings are on the back-to-back, but the Kings are also a great team that don't really blow out a lot of teams, also don't normally get blown out. And the Sixers are still talented to keep this game close and actually potentially win against the Kings. And Domantas Sabonis is going to guard Embiid. And let's be honest, Sabonis can't guard Embiid. That's just, now hardly anyone can guard Embiid. He just can get to the free throw line, can do whatever he wants. And he's just so good. And the Kings giving up the 3rd most points per game in the paint in the NBA this year. And sure, you could ask Austin, what happens if James Harden is back? Well, that's fine. Joel Embiid, 30 plus points in 11 of his last 12. Makes scoring a lot easier for him. He has 2 plus assists in 42 of 45 games with Harden in his career and 8 plus rebounds in 38 of 45 games. So, look, either way, if Harden's back and he's actually active, which I don't expect, then Joel Embiid should be able to get 30 plus points. Then we're just counting on some rebounds and assists, which I think he can easily get. If James Harden is out, well, then Joel Embiid should be able to get those 8 plus reps and 2 plus assists. Then we're just counting on him to score 30 points for minus 123 value. Look, I'll take a stab at it. Like I said, this NBA slate, not very good. So I'm just going to do those 2 plays. Now, let's talk about leans. Let's talk about the ladder. Let's talk about some COS All-Stars. A couple leans I looked, 2 Kyles. Kyle Anderson over in PRAs and Kyle Kuzma over 3.5 assists. Now, I don't say to play either of these. PRAs, I didn't put a line up there for Kyle Anderson because truthfully I don't really know where the line goes, but it's 22.5 right now. However, this comes down a lot to injuries, and Gobert, Rivers, and Edwards all questionable. Now, obviously, if those guys miss, that line's going to go up for Mr. Anderson, and he's been playing pretty well. I just don't know if I want to trust putting money on Kyle Anderson just yet. Is it just a small 3-game sample size that he's looked good, or is it like a thing that they're going to start playing through him a little bit more? That makes me a little skeptical. And then Kyle Kuzma over 3.5 assists, been playing pretty well. I think 7 in his last game, pretty good matchup, and I just think it's just a little too juice for me. That's why I won't take it. It's like minus 135, minus 145, but just a couple options out there. Now let's talk about the ladder challenge. I put, let's talk about it on the screen. Now, honestly, like I said, the NBA is not great, but I do like some NFL games, and honestly, I rather trust people in the NFL because they're in the playoffs, and those players are going to play a lot. Whereas you're looking at a meaningless Saturday game in January 21st for the NBA. So I think we're going to go towards the NFL. Have not decided on it. Looking at different things like maybe a Dallas Goedert, 25 plus receiving yards, Travis Kelce, probably going to be involved in both of the 2 NFL games today. So the ladder challenge will be up probably by 12 p.m. Eastern time, probably earlier than that. So definitely check out the YouTube shorts. You go follow us on TikTok at Calling Our Shot. Follow us on Instagram too if you haven't followed us there, at Calling Our Shot there. Follow us on all social platforms, at Calling Our Shot. Subscribe if you haven't already. So those are a couple of what we're thinking about. It's time to shout out some COS All-Stars. I'm going to butcher a lot of these names. If you want to become one, be on this list tomorrow, hit the join button down below. This is a long list. I'm going to speed through this as fast as I can. Devin, chasing par. We got Charlie, Scott, blazing that whiz. Dylan, H fits them. We got Trey, game type Mike. We got Hayden, Terrence, Goldie. We got Leon Edwards, Goat, Stenson Productions, Michelangelo. We got Brenton, Jameer. We got Nutso 13, J Van. We got Mohammed. We got Kyle, Shay, Zach, Abe, Brian Calbear. We got Alien Ransom, Elijah, Joseph, David, Dylan, Kevin, Jonathan, Morgan, the THC Moon Man, oh god, Wojtek, JRK, Declan, Brown, definitely butchered that, Brown, Brown Bag Travel, Shawnees, hopefully it was SMK 1685, Zach, Acklin, I'm just, like I said, I butcher a lot of these, Jose, Marco, Cole, FC Real, we got Oscar, Vinca, John, Nino, Ty, Josh, we got Cass, Tim, Michael, D, Kendall, Matt, Dominisa, James, Conversations with Al, Dualibi, XL, Psycho Alex, Jamel, Jason, Dakota, Eddie, Oso, Courtney, Scott, Dinsdale, Nicole, Michael, Dylan, Two with a View, Luis, TZ, Shakir, Nobody, hopefully that's right, Jean, Milton, Roland, Brett, Daniel, Melissa, John, Luis, Showtime Films, Jacob, Mark, Damian, Sean, David, Zachary, Kevin, Brandon, Marcus, Austin, love the name, Just Av4, Al, Midnight, Joe, Liam, Mason, Hoodie Mello, we got Johan, we got Major Life, we got Andrew, Project, we got Lucky, we got Christian, Ayabasek, I don't know, butchered that. Joe, Pels, Miko, Joe again, C4G Locks. We got Rosa, Sebo, Johnson, Swallow My, okay, not respond, okay. Dylan, Tori, Ish77, Jacob, Ryan, J. Canes, Michael. We got Timothy, XITZ Vision. We got BB, Jeremy, Julio. We got Dustin, Sonam, Jared, Alfredo, Han, DND, Victor, Darnell, Wells the Barber, JR, Jacob, Anderson, Darnell, Josh, Damian, Matthew, Sizzle, P, Trevor, JP328, Jerry, Ben, Jose, Malpractice, Me Too, Tyler, Jigo, Justin, Matt, Brian, Ming, Ronak, we got Jake, Benjamin, Yuri, Tyrone, Harrison, Frank Runner, John, Dean, Philip, Nathan, Kevin, Vince, Mike, Smitty, Intellate, Ozzy, and Logan. That's a long list. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. I won't make this video any longer. NFL video I'll put right up on the screen. Go click that. Check out my favorite picks there. The ladder challenge will be live soon. Let's go to day 8. Let's cash it. Let's go to day 9, baby. It's going to be a great day. See you guys back again tomorrow morning. Peace.